Newberg Fitness family, we're back at it again with another video. My name is Shiloh O'Brien, and you know all about empowering moms to transform lives and change the world. Are you trying to get rid of that fat that hangs over your bra strap? Or maybe you're hunched over like this. That fit, toned, strong back, you can get that. Or maybe you want that back that looks really good in a bikini. All right, wait no further, let's get right into the video. Let's make it happen. The very first exercise we're gonna get into is pull-ups. We did a full breakdown of this Tuesday. If you need a more in-depth breakdown, just go back and look at that video, and it'll give you everything you need to know to get to a place where you can actually do a pull-up or work up towards it. All right, let's get right into it. We're gonna mix it up a little bit this time, and I'm gonna talk to you while you see the movements done on screen. So this first exercise is wide grip pull-ups. If you look back, you'll see I pointed at where it's working the lats right there on your back, that side part that comes down. So when you come up to the top, you're squeezing and holding for a split second and stretching on the way down. This is how not to do it. When you see people hunch in, curve the shoulders in as they're coming up to the top, you're not actually feeling any development on your back. So keep your chest up, pull to the top, squeeze, and back down. You want to at least go to where your arms are 90 degrees. If you want to go higher, that's perfectly fine, but at least 90 degrees and stretch on the way down. The first one that you just did, the wide grip pull-ups, those are the hardest of the three main ones you see people do. So you're starting with that one because it's going to give you the most development for your back, but also it's the one that if you get better at that one, it's going to make all the other ones easier. So this is close grip pull-ups, same thing, except now your hands are closer and they're in that neutral grip. You're squeezing at the top and then you're stretching on the way down. Both of those movements, you're going to do those for 2 sets each for about 10 to 12 reps. And as it gets easier, you can add another set and do 3 sets of each. So now we're moving on to T-bar rows, right? So the way you're doing this, hinge back with your hips, and then your chest is up and you're squeezing the middle of your back. Once you get in position, stay in that position. Don't be moving your hips back and forth. You're literally just moving your elbows back and forth. They're not very wide. Keep your elbows tucked in and squeeze at the top, stretch back down. Squeeze at the top, stretch back down. When you do this movement, the part you should feel working is what I'm pointing to right now. That's the part you should feel working, that upper middle back, and get that nice squeeze. Now we're moving into the next exercise, dumbbell rows. This is how you don't do them. Don't hunt your back over to put a lot of strain on your lower back. Don't go very wide like that. You want to make sure you feel it in the middle of your back. To do that, keep your elbows tucked in, squeeze at the top. Right outside of your shoulders is where you're squeezing. You're doing that for 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps. I'm showing you from different angles, from the side and from the front. Make sure you squeeze and hold at the top for a second. If you do not feel it, make sure you take your time. Control on the way down and squeeze. These are now the neutral grip ones. So this is how you don't do it, right? And now you bring your elbows back, almost like you're pulling a lawnmower. You don't bring them straight up. You pull them back at an angle to feel that lower part of your back working. You're going to also do this for 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps. You can do both those back to back to get a nice burn. Okay, here's another variation of the one I just showed you. You can also do them with your knee on the bench and pull them back at that same angle. I actually recommend doing both of the last 2 exercises back to back to get that nice pump in your back. So the only reason I'm showing you this single arm variation here is just in case you don't feel the last exercise in your back properly. Sometimes you can do one arm at a time to make sure you're feeling it properly, focusing on one side at a time. Now we're moving on to cable rows. If you notice, all of these exercises, I'm showing you how to not do them and then showing you how to do them. Making sure you keep your chest up on each one, elbows tucked in. Make sure you squeeze on every single rep and stretch. For your back, you want to make sure you really get that stretch. That is part of what's going to help it grow on top of you getting the contraction. So make sure you take your time. If you don't feel it, play around with it. You know, maybe, hey, hold it a little bit longer at the top to make sure you really feel it. On that note, that's the end of the video. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Let's level up together.